Hey everyone, Murray and I are here, right Murs? Anything you want to say to the people? He's quiet. Don't look at me like that. You guys have been great. You have been subscribing, you've been asking me questions, and there's so many things that I want to say to you. So I figured, hey, let me tell you a couple of things about me. This is actually, one of you had said, well, how did you get to be a news anchor in DC? What's your story? So I figured I would let you in on it. Tell you a little story about me. Okay, so Trust the Universe. This is my new amazing little light box here from Target, and I've got this Trust the Universe in here because really, I want you all, as you've been kind of like going through your own journey, to trust the universe. You're supposed to be where you're supposed to be. And I know that I am supposed to be here for a couple of reasons. One is him. But the other one is my husband. Let me show you a picture of him. Hold on, let me see. Hold on, I got a dog in the face. Yeah, so this is him right here. And we got married, whoop, see the ring light? Yeah, we got married about a year ago. And he's the reason why I am here. Now, I'm a New Yorker. Sorry, Murray. Murray's been to New York with me. And, oh, Murray, we messed it up. Hold on. Trust the universe. This one's getting off to a rocky start, people. So I'm from New York, and what happened was I started working at New York One. It's my first place that I ever worked in news, and I really, really wanted this job, but you know, it's not like they were running out to hire me. I didn't have any experience or anything. So there was this woman who worked there, and she was amazing. She was the planning editor. She worked on the assignment desk, and are you good? Okay, hold on. Here, that better? You okay, Mac? Okay. He's not happy. I'm gonna put you down. I'll put you down, buddy. Here. There you go. Oh, he gets. Sorry, microphone fell off. Yeah, this one is getting a little wild. Okay, let me get to the point here. Oh my God, I don't know why you're still watching. So what happened was I called her because I really wanted to get into news. I'd worked on Wall Street before this. I know, it's crazy. And so I'd worked on Wall Street and I wanted to be working in news, and I thought this would be, you know, just easy as can be. Actually, I was really positive. I didn't think it was gonna be easy, but I definitely was positive about it. And I called and I called and I called and I called. And I was like, hi, my name is Debra, and I really would like to get this entry-level job there. And I called so many times it became kind of a joke. Like, I was positively persistent, and I would laugh almost when I called again. I'm like, it's me again. And it became funny. And then what happened was, well, she hired me. It was a $10.50 an hour job. It was not to be on camera. It was to be a news assistant. I'd run around the 5 boroughs of New York City. I'd be shooting video and getting interviews and coming back. And that would be basically it. So I did that for a bit. But the thing was, I took the opportunity to work with reporters and even go in on my days off and just watch people edit, and I soaked up all the knowledge I could. You okay, Murray? Okay. And so I ended up putting together a reel. When I would go out to shoot a story, I'd shoot a stand-up. And I wasn't very good, but that's okay. And then when we were sitting around not doing anything, I'd shoot a stand-up. And that's what I would do. And I would try to understand how people wrote stories, and I would look at stories on the New York stations. And of course they were really good. And I would basically, I know this is crazy, but I would try to write down what the people were saying, because I didn't understand how a package was put together. So it's like, okay, the reporter said this, and the soundbite was there, and then the reporter said this, and I would try and understand how they put this stuff together. Well, after a while, people explained things to me, and I had a wonderful friend named Itai Hod. Look him up. And he helped me because he was working there, and I would go with him on my day off. Literally, I wasn't getting paid, but on my day off, I would go there with him and help him shoot a stand-up. And in turn, he would shoot a stand-up for me. And when I edited my first package and I edited my first reel together, he watched it and he was like, that's good, that's great. No, you need that sound here. No, this, that, and the other thing. And he was super helpful to me. From New York One, I put together a tape. I took it to SI 76. Ever heard of it? No, you haven't, because nobody has heard of this because it isn't there anymore, and nobody worked there except for 2 people, actually 3 people who still work in news right now. 2 of them are married, Alicia Vitarelli and her husband, Matt Pantaleno. They got married after working there together. They met there, but Alicia works at 6 ABC in Philly, and I believe Matt works at WNBC in New York, or maybe he works for NBC News. I forget now. I'll have to check with him. Darn. Footnote to do that. And I worked there. And it was in Staten Island. It was a twice-a-week news show, and we'd go out and do packages. I'd get paid $75 a package, and I'd hustle. I would hustle to do this. I really worked hard. From there, put together my reel, got out of there, and went to News 12 Connecticut, where I just talked to the assistant news director who originally took my tape and hired me, oh my God, all those years ago, Dave Furman. Yes, Furman. So Furman hired me. Basically, Murray, are you listening to this? He's actually listening over here. Yeah, it's okay. Dave Furman, I had called him. This is like, we would email people, certainly, but to get someone on the phone is a huge thing. And so I got him on the phone. I'd ask people, well, what time is the morning meeting? And I figured out when things happened. And so they said, what's a good time to reach him? I'd ask the assignment desk. And they said, oh, call at 7:30. That's when he gets in. And I did. And I said, I sent you my reel. I was wondering if you got it. And he said, I don't know. I was looking around. And I was like, well, what if I told you, I could be there in 2 hours with another reel? Like I could come and show it to you and, we could look at it. And he said, sure. And I think just my calling him, getting him on the phone and saying, hey, I'll be there. He said, oh, this is a go-getter. This is someone who really wants this. And I wasn't that great. I wasn't bad, but I wasn't that great. And he gave me a chance. And so all I needed was a chance. And I was terrible at live shots in the beginning. I could package, I could track. Murray's looking at me like, you couldn't track. But I did my first live shot there. My IFB fell out of my ear. And, I don't know what I said, but I said something like, when they came back to me, I was like, am I on? One of those moments. Of course, it was no big deal. It happens all the time. But to me at the time, it was hell. I was so upset. But anyway, long story short, I worked there and filled in every day that they would allow me to because I was a freelance reporter. When a position came open, they hired me full time. I worked there for a couple of years and really learned how to package. Worked with amazing photographers, was nominated for my first New York Emmy there. I learned a lot in a short amount of time. And then I went to NBC Connecticut. Now, here's the deal. When I was at News 12 Connecticut, I would ask everyone and their mother to look at my stuff. Everybody. Can you give me some feedback? What do you think of this? And they'd give me good feedback. I mean, I remember having an amazing mentor, Liz Cho at ABC7. And she probably doesn't even realize what she did for me. But I remember I finally got a good story, like a good story. They could go on my reel. And I had this autopsy report and I was going to read it, word for word, like what it meant. But, it's pretty clinical and boring. And I called her and she talked me through what that said and translated it into how you talk to a person, like a conversational kind of way, like this meant this. And it's, that really was a big learning for me. A couple of big learnings for me along the way. That was one of them, that you don't have to take the exact police speak. I didn't know. So I went to NBC Connecticut. Morning reporter, live all morning. And that was amazing because I got so good at being live from the repetition and just kind of trying to come up with new things and trying to push myself and trying to make it creative and being like, hey, let me show you this. It was really fantastic. And that's where I met Murray. Hold on, you're going to love this part of the story. My friend Matt Pitzer. Matt Pitzer was the assistant news director there, and we became best buds. There's a couple of people there who we were all so close. We became such good friends, lifelong friends, and he was one of them. I just saw him not too long ago in New York. But Matt really believed in me. And you know what? It's another thing. Okay, so again, the moment that Liz kind of helped me to translate stuff from the boring and the cop speak, the very boring, like clinical stuff on the paper, on the press release, to this is what it is in real life. Another time was when I did this great live shot and Matt complimented me. And I remember this because I was so scared to tell anyone that my real, true ambition was to go to New York. And I told Matt, and you know what? He didn't laugh at me. I thought he would. And I didn't want to reveal that, that was my true, goal. And so he really encouraged me. And it really means a lot when someone encourages you. And so that kind of gave me this thought that maybe I could go to New York. Those are two big moments in my career. Okay, I stayed there and really worked hard on special projects, and I really worked hard there. I loved it there. And if it was in New York, I would have stayed because I really loved everyone I worked with. However, it wasn't in New York, and my apartment was in New York, and I wanted to work in New York, as you know. So, another Christmas came, and I would work Christmas and I'd work New Year, so it really didn't matter to me. But the fact that the end of the year was coming means that I got lots of good emails from people that I'd subscribed to their email list and stuff. And one was, again, it's another big moment, another email from Patricia Moreno. Patricia Moreno is one of my spiritual gurus. She's awesome. She teaches a great class in New York City called Intensati. And it's all about intention and movement. And she's a positive person. She knows about the power of positivity. So she says, what did you want to accomplish this year? What did you accomplish this year? Why did you not accomplish the things you didn't accomplish? Really, the email probed and tried to push you to look and figure out, what role did you play in all of this, right? And I realized that I did play a role in not getting a job in New York that year because I didn't think that I deserved it. I didn't think I worked hard enough. I didn't think I was good enough. I didn't really believe in myself. And then I made the decision to stop that and to believe in myself. What am I going to lose except losing, right? Next year I got to New York and I worked at Pix 11, and it was amazing for a while. Really great. In the beginning I was so happy. I just loved it. Sure, there were catty people, and sure there were tough people, and sure there were tough situations, and sure there were some bosses who were a little tough. And by tough, I'll leave it at that. But I learned so much. In fact, I met one of my very good friends who married my best friend. Amazing. And they had a daughter on my birthday, right? And if I didn't go there, I wouldn't be here. Okay, so hold on. I love being in New York, and I cried when I left. But I got this job offer here at the CBS station in D.C. And I didn't really want to come to D.C. It wasn't a lifelong dream of mine. New York was a lifelong dream of mine. So leaving it wasn't something I wanted to do. But, they were cutting down my freelance hours at Pix. And I was like, do I take a lesser job in New York? Or do I just go for it as a CBS affiliate? I mean, it can't be so bad. It's in a big city. And so I came here, and it was a tough adjustment. Oh, it was totally a tough adjustment because you would think lots of stuff happens here, and it does, but each station covers things differently. In the beginning, we were hardly live. It was very different. I was live all the time in Pix, and that was really my forte. I was really good at being live and conversational and thinking on a dime, but that didn't happen here. Now, that being said, things were great for a very long time here, and I worked really hard. I was really proud of my live shots, proud of my reporting. I was promoted to anchor. I had a great time. I anchored with Bruce Johnson, who is so wonderful. Another one of my great mentors. Love him. But here's the thing, and I wish Murray would get his butt over here, but he's not. I met my husband here. All that time in New York City, my whole life I lived in New York City, the land of where there's all these men, and I found my husband here. And that was my greatest accomplishment of all of the things that I did. And you might wonder, what? No, you're a career woman meeting your husband? Well, let me tell you, I only met my husband because I got out of my own way. I thought life was supposed to be a certain way, and you were supposed to marry a certain person, and life was supposed to look a certain way to you. And you know what? I realized it's bullshit. It doesn't matter. It's not real. You get in your own way when you're committed to the outcome. And this man who I married, he is amazing. He is wonderful. And he is the yin to my yang, and he always supports me. And I could not do what I do, which right now includes making this YouTube video with my dog before I head to yoga. I should really go soon. Oh, geez. Yeah, I gotta leave now. So I know you may have lots of questions. This video is all fakakta. I really appreciate it. Yes, my shirt says #blessed. I don't know. I got it necessary clothing, I think, in New York. But just trust the universe, trust the timing of your life, and know that what happens to you happens for you. And I know when I was sitting in that Pix 11 live truck with my coworker Shashi, crying because I had to leave and come to DC, that I'd never realized I'd be as happy as I am now with the love of my life, building the life that I want. So there's that. Trust the universe. All right. Mwah. Love you. Bye.